Hello, Vinyl community. How you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. This is going to be a Vinyl Grabs video of a bunch of stuff that I've gotten in over the past month or so. Doing some online shopping. Plus, I have a few gifts that I want to show. And I think I'm going to show about 9 records, and then I have actually more that have come in that I'll show in another week or two. I'll get another video out for those. But yeah, I've been doing, got some things in the mail, got some gifts, and some pretty cool stuff that I wanted to share. So let's get started. And my buddy John over at the Digital Gramophone, he sent me a gift via a local record store, Siren Records. So thankful, and he sent me this. It's Alice Coltrane, Journey to Sketchadananda, featuring Pharoah Sanders. Wonderful record, and John knew that I didn't have any Alice Coltrane in my collection. Siren Records, not too far from me, they've been doing a lot of Instagram sales, and he told me that he didn't want me to not have this album, or in something along those lines, is what he mentioned to me. So Siren Records sent this out to me via John. What a great album. I mean, I was familiar with the album. I just never come across it up here. For whatever reason, I don't ever see any Alice Coltrane. So thank you, John. Great spiritual jazz here. Alice Coltrane with Pharoah Sanders. Other players are Cecil McBee on bass, Rashid Ali on drums, Tulsi on tambura, Majid Shabazz on bells and tambourine, and then on the final track you also have Vishnu Wood on the oud, Charlie Hayden on bass, and again Rashid Ali on drums. So Alice Coltrane, the wife of John Coltrane, she plays harp and piano. Just a really terrific album, and this plays great, plays really well. This came out in '71, and I think this is a 1972 repress. Let me double check here. Yeah, this is a 1972 repress. So not an original, but 1972. And the cover has a little wear, but that doesn't bother me at all. The record is wonderful. There's the Impulse ABC label. So John, once again, thank you very much. Yeah, you surprised me with it, and I really love it, and thank you very much. Incredibly generous of you. Next, another gift. So Dave at Local Bandography, he wanted to send me something. And I guess he's in contact with Lunchbox Records down in Charlotte, and real friendly with the owner, Scott, there. And this album came in. He said it had my name written all over it, so he had Lunchbox mail it up to me. So this is Mel Waldron, a little bit of Miles. This is a 1972 live recording from Leiden, Holland. Recorded live at the Jazz Holder Hot House in Leiden, Holland, February 9th, 1972. It didn't get pressed until 74, and this is a German pressing. I think it was only released in Germany and Japan for whatever reason. It's on Black Lion Records. Live recording, it's a trio. It's Mel Waldron on piano, Hank Haverhoek on bass, and Pierre Courbois on drums. Now, Hank Haverhoek and Pierre Courbois I've never heard of before, but I really love Mel Waldron. Pretty much anything he does, I have been a fan of what I've heard anyway. But really, really terrific album. I actually listened to it again today. It's just a great performance. It's 2 songs. Side 1 is the song "A Little Bit of Miles," and then side 2 is "Here, There, and Everywhere." It's not the Beatles' "Here, There, and Everywhere," but it's a Mel Waldron composition. Both songs are Mel Waldron compositions. But yeah, just terrific. Terrific solos all throughout this album. This is a solo heavy album, and I really enjoy it. So Dave, thank you so much once again. Extremely generous of you. Yeah, just thanks. I wasn't expecting this at all, and I just really appreciate it. So thank you so much. And again, another gift. So my buddy Brad over at H2 Vinyl. I won't get into this story, but he felt the need to send me a Amazon gift card, and even though I was like, told him not to, but he was insistent. He sent me an Amazon gift card, and I immediately put it towards this, and it's the Tone Poet of Money Jungle by Duke Ellington, Charlie Mingus, and Max Roach. First of all, just a all-time classic album with 3 masters of their instruments: Duke Ellington piano, Charles Mingus on the big double bass, and Max Roach on drums. But this Tone Poet is exceptional. It's exquisite. The pressing is just, they hit it out of the park. It's here's the label. They yeah, it's just a perfect pressing. It's there's no sounds incredible as you could imagine, and it's dead quiet. It's completely perfectly flat. But what an album this is. So Duke Ellington in his 60s here, while the other 2, I think Charles Mingus is just 40 or 41, somewhere around there. Max Roach is only 38. But the chemistry they have is terrific, even though I know there was some tension throughout the sessions. That does not come through on this recording. But terrific album. And in this Tone Poet release, I highly recommend it. If you're on the fence about getting it, just do it. It's really, really worth it. Beautiful, beautiful album and pressing. Okay, so thank you, Brad, once again for that. I really do appreciate it. I think you even said you are going to pick that up, so that's exciting. But yeah, thank you, Brad, thank you, Dave, and thank you, John, for these gifts. I love them all, and you guys are all great friends, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. Now, moving on to the remaining pickups here. These first 2 are going to be non-jazz, and then everything else I'm going to show is kind of all jazz related. So, forewarning, if you're not into jazz, just stick through these next two albums and then you can jump out. But first, the debut from Can, and actually at this point they were known as The Can. This is Monster Movie, 1969. This is a 2014 reissue on Spoon Records. So I have been wanting to start collecting Can, and I recently started doing that. So I have Future Days, which is their 5th album, and now I have Monster Movie, their debut, on vinyl. They here's the label. Whoops. Here's the label. So, so this album, like I said, came out in 1969. It's got a lot of that drum and bass repetitive feel that's known in like krautrock. But yeah, this album is great. I love it. The side 2 is one track. It's called You Do Right, and it's basically just a jam, and it's about 20 minutes or so. But I think it was edited down from like hours. They jammed for hours, and I guess they kind of edited it down to what comes on to this album. So like I said, this is their debut, but I think before this they had an EP out. And I don't think that did much, but they were able to come and do their proper debut album. That is the original artwork for the cover of the original album. This is the inner sleeve here. But yeah, these Spoon recordings, at least the 2 that I have, are great. They no flaws. They sound great. So I'll be looking to get more for sure. Yeah. So Can, their debut album, Monster Movie. Okay, next. It's an album I've been wanting to get on vinyl for a long time, and I finally decided to pull the trigger, and that is Yes Talk. This is a music on vinyl release here. I'm not going to pull the records out because there's nothing really going on with the labels, just kind of the logo here. Kind of a different album for Yes. This is the last album of the Trevor Rabin era. So Trevor Rabin came in the 80s, and the band kind of took off with 90125, and in what was that, 1983 I think, or 84, and then Big Generator in 87 or 88, and then 91 they had the Union album. I think it was 91, maybe it was 90, where it was this version of Yes plus the guys from Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman Howe came into the band, and so I kind of had like a super Yes group to do the Union album, and then it went back to the Trevor Rabin, John Anderson, Chris Squire, Tony Kaye, and Alan White version of Yes. They did this album in 1994. And this is kind of like, this is all really Trevor Rabin. This is his kind of project, and it's great. He produced it, and yeah, I just love it. Like I said, it's kind of a different album for them. They even use different logo artwork. This is done by Peter Max. not the great artwork that we know and love from Roger Dean. But yeah, so this album didn't do much, I don't think, when it came out. I remember the late night circuit TV talk shows. Yes, performed a few times and did the opening track, "The Calling." So that was kind of like their biggest hit, if you will, from this album. But it's got some real gems on here. "Real Love" on side 2 is a favorite of mine, and then they have an epic track called "Endless Dream," which is in 3 parts: "Silent Spring," "Talk," and "Endless Dream." And that is kind of the crowning achievement of Trevor Rabin's career with Genesis. Yes, slip of the tongue there. So it's really just a great epic Yes track that I love. So yeah, so happy to have this. This pressing for Music on Vinyl is phenomenal. It's great. They did such a great job with this. So highly recommend. Now moving along. So I got this next one from a Carolina Soul auction. And it's "Gateway" by John Abercrombie, Dave Holland, and Jack DeJohnette. So John Abercrombie on guitar, Dave Holland on bass, and Jack DeJohnette on the drums. And what an album this is. I really love this album. This is fast becoming one of my favorite ECM Records releases. So this is on the ECM label. And wow, I just love this album. So it's kind of a somewhat of a jazz fusion album, post-bop. I'd even kind of put it a little bit in with prog. It's really wonderful. I really love this album. And there's great interplay between the 3 of these guys. Now, Jack DeJohnette, the drummer, I am a big fan of, so I will pretty much pick up anything that he shows up on. I don't have too much as of yet, but one of my favorite drummers right there, Jack DeJohnette. And this cover artwork is really stunning too. Great album art. I had posted this on social media at one point, and Michael P. Dawson made the comment that this was one of his favorite art pieces. And it says cover design by Maja Weber. So I assume that's the artist. But Michael's right. It's quite interesting and really great. So, yeah, this is getting a lot of spins here lately. I'm really enjoying this one. This is the only thing that I have with John Abercrombie on, and his guitar playing is great. It's I don't know what word to use. More there's nothing real flashy about it, but maybe a little bit more atmospheric. Just great though. I really enjoyed this album. So was definitely happy to pick that one up. Next, let's see here. Not sure if I said what year this. Did I say this came out in 1975? If I didn't, this came out in 1975. Okay, now next. So this is one that I've had on my want list for 2-3 years, and I finally found a great deal on it, so I jumped on it. And this is Charlie Parker, Bird at the Roost, the Savoy Sessions. So this is taken from live recordings from the Royal Roost from February and March of 1949. And this is terrific. Great album. So on here you have Charlie Parker on the alto sax, Kenny Dorham on trumpet, Al Haig on piano, Tommy Potter on bass, and the great Max Roach on drums. And then on from another performance, you also add in Milt Jackson on the vibes and Lucky Thompson on tenor sax. So great musicians. Actually, I'm playing Milt Jackson in the background there, and he appears on this album. Really wonderful. And this album, you really get the ambiance of the room. So you hear a little like talking in the background. You have the stage announcer, Symphony Sid Turin, announcing the band. So really great stuff. I had seen this. I saw Teddy at Eat Sleep Vinyl show this years ago, and I made a note of it from back then, and finally came across for a really great price. This was $5, and I jumped on it. There's the Savoy label. Yeah, wonderful music here. They even have some classic songs like A Night in Tunisia. There's 2 different versions of Scrapple from the Apple. So fun album. And this album was released, recorded in February and March of 1949, and this album came out in 1977. 1977. Charlie Parker, Bird at the Roost. Really good stuff here. So now this next one. So happy to have this now. And this is another one I've been looking for a long time. The incredible Jimmy Smith back at the Chicken Shack on Blue Note. This is it's recorded in 1960 and released in 1963, and this is a first mono, and it's in just gorgeous condition. Nice gloss on the cover, hardly any wear, and the record is in really beautiful condition here. So, this was probably at the top of my list of Jimmy Smith albums that I wanted to get. There's still a couple more that I really want, like House Party and The Sermon. But this one, really great. I love this one. So on here you have Stanley Turrentine, Kenny Burrell, and Donald Bailey. So of course Jimmy Smith on the organ, Stanley Turrentine on tenor sax, Kenny Burrell on guitar, and Donald Bailey on drums. Yeah, really great. Really love this album. And so the back at the Chicken Shack, so where this photo was taken, another reason why I really wanted it is it was taken about 15 to 20 minutes away from here in Norristown, Pennsylvania. So one of these days I'm going to go track down the location and see what it looks like now. I don't know if it's been built over or what's there now, if it's still a chicken farm or what, but yeah, so happy to have this one. So the incredible Jimmy Smith back at the Chicken Shack. Great stuff. Okay, and then lastly, I picked up another Tone Poet, and a lot of people have been showing this in the VC, but Lee Morgan, the Cooker. So this just came out, I don't know, a month ago or so, but originally recorded in 1958. Just these Tone Poets are just really, really, really awesome. This high gloss, thick cardboard stock, beautiful photos on the gatefold. So yeah, so this album's The Cooker, and it's true to its name because this does cook. Great album. So on here you have Lee Morgan on trumpet, of course, Pepper Adams on baritone sax, Bobby Timmons on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. Starts off with A Night in Tunisia, classic song, and it's great rendition. Just phenomenal, and it's hard to believe that Lee Morgan at 19 years old can put out an album like this. Just a all-time classic. So love it. So the Cooker, and again the Tone Poet release is, they just do such an incredible job. It's dead quiet, it's flat, sounds tremendous. Yeah, so those are the first part of my recent grabs, and I'll have more to show real soon, within the next week or two, because I do have one or two more things trickling in. So, but for now, that's going to do it. Let me know what you thought of these, or anything that you want to talk about in the comments down below. Please do so, and I'm excited to have this stuff. And thanks again to Brad over H2 Vinyl, John the Digital Gramophone, and Dave Local Bandography for those extremely generous gifts. I do really appreciate them, and I love them all. So thanks. So this is going to do it for me. Hope everyone's doing well. I'll be back again soon. So everyone take care. We'll be back soon. Bye now.